Hello my doves! Thank you for coming to spend some time with me today. As you can tell from the title of the video, today we're going to be doing an unboxing of the Whispers of Healing Oracle cards by Angela Hartfield with the artwork by Josephine Wall. Now, I have been lusting after this deck for a while. I've seen some great recommendations for it on other YouTube channels, and I saw a couple flip-throughs and I just decided that I had to have it. And I'm really excited to go through this, and because I have no self-control, this is actually an unboxing, but I already took the plastic off the wrapping of the cardboard box because I am a child, again with no impulse control. But I am excited to break into this box and kind of get right into it. This is my first Oracle deck ever, and I'm really looking forward to kind of getting lost in the imagery because the art in this deck is, whew, so good. It's so good, you guys. I can't wait. So, this is the artwork on the box. Stunning. I think this is an example of one of the cards that's already in there, as is pretty standard for a lot of box artwork. It's really sturdy. It's got, 50 cards, Guidebook set. Yeah, this is like a pretty sturdy box. It's not gonna stand up to a fair amount of abuse, although I don't tend to knock around my cards too much. So let's get into it. Okay, nice inside of the box, really pretty lavender color. A nice protective touch there so that nothing gets scratched up and moving, so I like that a lot. Ooh, look at that book! Y'all. Oh, the color scheme in these books is so good. It's very feminine, or traditionally feminine, I suppose. Femme, if you so choose. The book is kind of an off-white color, which for some people is not cute, but I actually prefer it. Sometimes I find that this dark white is a little harsh on the eyes. Oh, I love that the contents are all numbered. A lot of times in these books I find that, especially for tarot decks, they just have major arcana starts on this page and the minor arcana starts on that page, and that can be a little bit annoying when it's I just want to look up the Hierophant, just give me the page number. So I'm really glad that this actually goes through and has detailed page numbers. Some really nice representations of the cards inside. Some spreads, or a spread, and then it gets right into the cards. Some bonus artwork inside. Yeah, really nice so far. Okay, a little about the authors. We have that. It fits snugly inside the box. Oh, okay. Usually in boxes like this, there's there's some matting or some framing inside the box so that this doesn't get knocked around too much, but it does look like the cards have survived just fine without that. Just a little bit of a warp, but that's okay. I don't really care. It's got a little plastic sleeve right on the outside that we can just slide right off. Look at the colors on this. Isn't that stunning? Ugh. Yes! Alright, let's get right into it because I am so ready. Let's do a little flip through. Oh yeah, so the thing I have also noticed or heard said about this deck is that the cards themselves have different orientations. So some of them are landscape and some of them are portrait. As you can see here, we've got some landscape. Gorgeous. I think I'll keep them face up actually. Boop. I like that they did some play around, it's not all the same season or the same color scheme. There's there seems to be some variety. There's a winter scene here, and then there's something more lush and spring-like in this nurturing one. I love that she's a bird, but she's also kind of part of a fish, and there's this whole ecosystem that you can just lose yourself in, and that's, turns me on. I like it. I've seen reviews of this deck with this card in particular, and people seem to really like the sort of release lightning imagery. I also appreciate that. Give back. Oh, I love that. Oh, it's so pretty. I'm such a sucker for, like, vibrant, rich jewel tones. Like, I am not, I am not nuanced or sophisticated in my color preferences whatsoever. I'm like, yes, give me rainbows. All the rainbows. Oh, upside down, I think. Sort of. Flow. Okay. Triggers. Huh. I'm never quite sure what to think of when I see cards that say trigger on them, just because I myself have PTSD, and for me that's like a clinical term. And of course there's all this controversy around people making fun of triggers and acting like triggers are like a joke, and they're not. But I kind of like this because it encapsulates these little images and memories that can trigger certain things that may or may not be innocuous. Like, a lot of these things are pretty happy looking things, but you never know what someone's trigger looks like or what it might set off within another person. It might be pretty innocuous, but I'm just gonna flip these over. But yeah, you never know. Control. You know, I really like the art, but I'm gonna have to, I think, sit with these cards a little bit and kind of go deeper, because their connection to the terms on the card isn't immediately apparent to me, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just means you have to sit there and think about it. And I feel like kind of going through cards like this can be a meditative process, so it's not a bad thing to have to think about it. Let's just kind of get through some more of these. They're a little sticky. They'll stick to each other a little bit, but that's okay. Well, I am not disappointed at the vibrancy or the print quality of these yet. It's really nice. It's interesting that they use a lionfish for self-love, because I've always interpreted that as like a dangerous thing, but that just comes from my deep-seated fear of the ocean. Well, love-hate relationship with the ocean. Negativity. You know, I expected them to be like all positive terms, and it's kind of nice that they're not all like happy fluffy. Like, the imagery is a little fluffy, but the concepts themselves are not. Modify. Okay. You know, one thing I will say so far is I'm not seeing a ton of diversity in these cards, which is pretty disappointing. Although, it's not that I didn't really expect it. I kind of knew what I was getting into when I bought the deck. But I'll talk more about that at the end. Yeah, it smells pretty white in here. You know, maybe not. Oh, I like this a lot. I often trip out on the similarity of the way like neural networks work. Neural networks and the human nervous system and trees and roots and lightning kind of all have the same patterns. So I love that it's a tree. That's really cool. Sincere relationships. Oh, I like that it's two women. You know, they could be partners, they could be family. Awareness. Spiraling outwards. A nautilus shell. Hydrate, yes! Drink that water. Should put that like in my bag to carry with me all the time. I never drink enough water. This is like if Lisa Frank like grew up and was a classically trained artist and then made an oracle deck. Oh, that's cute. That's really sweet. I like that a lot. Reliable. Sometimes this is how I feel when I feel spoiled for choice. There's just so much going on. They all look so good. I don't know which one to pick. So I pick all of them, and then it becomes a bit of a mess. But it's alright. Alternative. Huh. What is she doing to that kid's wing? Unsure. Get clear. That's really nice. What's this symbol again? Is it Mars? I don't actually know them. I know that's a planetary or astrology symbol, but I don't know which one it is. Do you know? Tell me in the comments. What is that? On her wrist. Guardian. I like the size difference. It's like the goddess of the sea in Ponyo. She's enormous but gorgeous. Strength. I like the sort of allusion to the big cat in Strength, because, you know, traditionally it's like a lion, I think, in the Rider-Waite tarot. Oh hey, it's the cover art. And the art on the back of the cards. I didn't notice that. I love that. I like the idea of gratitude as like a really beautiful thing, and as like a way of enjoying the things that you have. Sometimes I find that I associate gratitude with guilt, but I like that this is more like a pleasurable grateful, you know? Counting your blessings. Finding Narnia. Boundaries. Interesting. Yeah, this is really, really beautiful art so far. Now the lamination does make them a little sticky, a little difficult to shuffle, but I wonder if that will kind of like get easier with time, because I'm having a hard time with them. I also have teeny tiny little hands, which makes shuffling cards just kind of challenging in general. Shout out to Kellyanne Maddox, who has the same problem. I always really appreciate when she mentions, like, I don't know if I can, like, be mad about something being hard to shuffle because I have tiny hands, you know? Me too. Me too. I'm also not terribly coordinated, which makes it a little difficult. I wonder if, like, a side-by-side shuffle would work. Oh, there we go. Okay. Beautiful. Yeah. That's an easy way to shuffle larger cards. Thanks again, Kellyanne Maddox, for showing me that little trick. So overall, I find that the art is really stunning, which is not surprising. Like, everybody loves the art on these cards. The stickiness is a little bit annoying, but the cardstock is pretty good. It's got a little bit of a bend to it. I am a little bit, like, hard on my cards sometimes when shuffling, so cardstock being sturdy is, like, important to me, but it's hard to do that while making them still easy to shuffle, so I think they strike a good balance. I will say that, like many tarot decks, and, like, this is the thing that's a consistent issue across tarot and oracle decks, that's sort of recently coming around to be not quite the case anymore, is that, you know, it's very white, it's very cisgender, there's not a lot of depictions of romance, so I can't say whether it's, like, queer-friendly or not, but it is extremely white, and I would love to see more diversity in cards. And in fact, it's not even that I would love it, I demand to see more diversity and more racial and body type and cultural diversity, in oracle decks. You know, that's the one big, like, thing that I'm, like, a little disappointed about. Overall, I do think I need to sit with these cards a little bit more because there's just so much going on in every single image, and that's one of the reasons that I am glad it's a larger deck. Like, for example, the one complaint I have with my Shadowscapes Tarot, which I love, it is my like, favorite deck right now, is that the artwork is so beautiful and there's so much going on, but the cards are really small. Like, if you look, the Shadowscapes Tarot right here, like, beautiful, beautiful, but so small, so small. It's hard to see the details sometimes, so I appreciate the size of these cards, you know, in proportion to the art that's going on in them. Their connection with the terms that are on the cards are not immediately apparent, but maybe I'll get some clarity after looking through the guidebook that comes with it. I don't think I'll be keeping these in the box just because they don't sit in the box without rattling around. It's just like an empty tray in the bottom, and I don't love that. But it's okay because I have lots of little velvet bags, and I kind of prefer them anyway because they're easier to get into and out of on a whim. And I kind of do everything by the seat of my pants, so like when I want to get at my decks, I want to get at them like now. I don't want to fiddle with a box. So that's fine by me. Overall, really beautiful deck. I'm really looking forward to sitting with these and maybe doing like a daily draw or using these to like enhance the tarot readings that I do for other people. And, you know, I'm just really excited to kind of get into these. Thank you for sitting with me through this. Thank you for looking at these cards with me. I hope that this would be helpful to you if you're considering purchasing this deck. It was very inexpensive. You know, by my standards. Like, there are some beautiful decks out there of similar quality that are asking for like $45 to $60, which I don't begrudge, you know, because it takes a lot of work, but this is a particularly affordable oracle deck, which I appreciate. And overall, I would recommend it, and I hope that if you do get a chance to use it, that you get a lot of joy out of it, and it adds a lot to your practice. So, thanks again for being with me today. Many blessings, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!